Hello and welcome to the $1 Million Message. This is your Fearless Friday message with Callie DeBlander Brigham, calling from beautiful Pensacola Beach, Florida. Happy New Year. Happy 10-year $1 Million Message anniversary. Oh my goodness, a whole decade together. We've lived a lot of life in these past 10 years. Thank you for being a very important, special part of the journey. I've missed you all. Thank you for allowing me to honor my family time, and because of Christmas and New Year's both being on a Friday, we made the decision that we would just let those messages ride for a couple of days. But boy, have I been anticipating being back with you on my weekly training Zoom with my unit and offsprings and everybody. It struck me, as I said, happy 2021, that I'm going to claim it as 2020 WON1. We can decide at the start of this year that we will have the victory, that we will be winners. It is truly a choice. I changed out, I use what's called a thoughtful journal. It's made by Blue Sky, and Maddie gave it a journal to me last year at Christmas time. So I literally have 2020 journaled. Who knew? I'm a hit or miss journalist. But I have all of 2020 journaled. And what struck me as I flipped back through the year as I was preparing for the new journal was in the middle of March. Every week you rate your week, and it was then that I started to write, I choose 10. I choose 10. It was easy to write 10 when times were good, but I wrote, I choose 10, sometimes through tears. I choose 10. And so I just want you to know you can choose that 2021 will be one. WON. Now that means that there are battles, right? You can't win unless there's a battle. Don't you love those epic stories and movies? And in every single one, there's a battle. So I don't say that for you to be fearful, just aware and ready and armor up. But you can choose 2021 WON. So I do have a message for you today, of course, but first I want to just do a quick shout out to our Mary Kay for our upcoming skincare unbelievable superhero called Clinical Solutions. Have you read everything and watched everything on Mary Kay In Touch? It is ready for you, and I totally get it. We all want to order it ASAP. However, I really appreciate the wisdom of Mary Kay allowing us a couple of weeks or so of education first. Because one of my sales directors, Sarah Journey, was a beta tester for Clinical Solutions. She was not allowed to tell a soul, and she did a good job. She kept her word. I didn't even know. But she said all of the education that they received going through the trials of this retinol product, they really heard the importance of educating yourself and truly following the rules and following the steps. So would you raise your right hand and promise you're not going to go rogue? You're not going to sell this product without first educating yourself and informing your customers. You know, they really need to be on a skincare line. So now's the time to hold all of those virtual skincare sessions. Have the skincare analyzer app in the hands of everybody that you see so that they can first be prepared. This is not a product. This highly concentrated retinol product is not for someone who's just going to jump in, who is not already consistent, doesn't understand the value of really making sure that they're going to follow the program and plan. So that starts with us, right? So make sure that you understand everything about it. It is a process, and it is, you know, it's like baking instead of cooking. Cooking, if you want to throw in an extra dash of this or a handful of that, no problem. Baking is different. There's a science to it. Well, that's the same thing with this retinization process, with knowing who this is for. So we all raised our right hand. We promise we're going to fully dive in to what this new duo is all about before we start promoting it properly to our customers. Got it? It is a game changer. It is. But it's different than maybe any other launch that we've had. Okay, so Dermo Cosmetics, we're coming for you. Mary Kay's got next, right? Okay, so we're already a week into the new year. I am sure you've done things like your word for the year, your goals and intentions and dreams, or maybe you have it, or maybe you just need to solidify them. So what I'm going to share with you today is from a podcast that I listened to from Andy Stanley. He has a leadership podcast, and I don't know about you, but I needed a few distractions, healthy distractions. So I am fascinated by politics and current events, and I do listen to different podcasts on that. But a couple of days ago, I needed to listen to Focus on the Family podcast about parenting, and I needed to listen to leadership podcasts. So I pulled up this one all about decisions. And I'm going to give you a few highlights from what I listened to. He spoke about decisions determine our direction, right? Decisions determine our direction. So if we want a 2020 WON, what direction are we going in? He said our challenge, and boy, is this true for us as women, are our emotions. Here are two traps we can fall into. The first is selling ourselves on what we think we need. Listen to this. Rarely do we have to sell ourselves on a good thing, right? A good thing, like drinking that gallon of water, getting out and moving our body, making our bookings. We don't have to sell ourselves, obviously. Those are good things. So watch it when you hear yourself selling yourself. What are we doing? We're justifying, right? We're selling ourselves a few more minutes before I get out of bed. Oh, what's one more cookie? We are better salespeople than we give ourselves credit for. So as you go through the next couple of days, listen to yourself. What are you trying to sell yourself? This won't matter. One more of these, 5 more minutes, right? So we want to make sure that we are not selling ourselves out of what's best for us. The second trap is confirmation bias. It's what everyone's doing around us. Is it good for us or is it not? Who we are surrounded by is so critical because if they are all suiting up, showing up, moving out of comfort zones, then we will too. Or if they've already said, 2021 is going to be just as bad as 2020. We're 1 week into 50-plus weeks of a year. We cannot already go there, right? So those are our two traps. So as we're making our decisions for this next year, he says there's 5 questions that we ask ourselves. The first one is integrity. So as you're making your goals and dreams, the integrity question is really more this. Am I being honest with myself? So when I make my dreams and goals for the year, is it just what sounds good? Is it really what I'm going to be willing to get up and do every day? Or is it what somebody else is doing? Or is it not truly what's in my heart? Or is it go against something that I know that's best? My integrity question. So filter that through today. Number 2, legacy. Isn't this amazing? I absolutely love this one. What is the story I want to tell? You know, everything we're doing someday will become a story. Right? We're living in the present right now, but at some point it will be a story we can look back on. I think about the first 6 months of my Mary Kay business. They were insane. I was learning everything about a Mary Kay business. I was working 50, 60, 70 or more hours a week at my job in a new city where I didn't know anybody. I decided at the time, though, that I was willing to put in 6 months of absolute craziness, lack of sleep, totally doing things I never dreamed that I would do that were so scary because I was willing to put in 6 months so that for the next 60 years, I could have whatever choices I wanted. Now, at the time, that was a tough thing to do every day. Every day was a challenge. But I guess looking back, I realized I wanted my story to be, I was willing to do anything for 6 months so I could have 60 years of whatever I wanted to do. Now, is it always that easy to look back and see? No. But the decisions that we make are truly, truly creating a future story of overcoming, or a future story of giving up, a future story of choosing the best, or a future story of choosing whatever life threw at me. Now, here's the beautiful thing. The story can be as long of a period or a shorter period if you want. So if everything in your life up until now is not the story that you want to tell, guess what? Today is a day that you can start to rearrange the story. And the story could be for decades. This is what I chose. And then one day, right? Mark today down, whichever day you're listening, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. The third question is conscience. Is there a tension, Tension? Is there a tension that needs my attention? What is it that's critically hanging in the balance? Is there something that I kind of know that I've sort of pushed away? What decision needs to be made with my conscience in mind? Number 4, maturity. Maturity is, what is the wise thing to do? Right? Not the popular or easy. What's the wise thing to do? And then number 5, relationship. What does love require or ask of me today? I was reading a book called The Seed. It's an older book by John Gordon, and it's sort of the story of a man named Joshua. He goes through a journey to discover purpose, and in it he realizes that there's the preparation stage, there's the planting stage, there's the growing stage, and then there's the harvesting stage. And you know what he realized at the end? The whole reason to go through all 4 stages to harvest is so that he has another seed to pass on to someone else. So what does love require of me? It might require a good bit today. Why? So that I can serve and love others at a whole new level. If I'm empty, I can't give out. If I'm not speaking to people and interacting with people and growing who I am, there's not going to be anything to support others and encourage others with. So those are the 5 questions. Now, I just want to say that I took those 5 questions and I decided to do something that's so 2020, 2021, and that's to add a virtual, or I should say a digital enhancement to what I would normally do. So I would normally take these things, write some goals and dreams, and then maybe cut out some pictures and make a vision board or a poster board. And this year, actually during one of the breaks in Ignite, I hope you all took advantage of that amazing day of learning, virtual learning. During one of the breaks, I went onto Google and I started Googling images for things that I wrote down for a vision board. Now, I have to be brutally honest. I had not flexed my vision board muscle in a while. And when I thought, well, what dream do I have this year? Not like a Mary Kay goal, not like a career path goal or anything like that, but like an actual dream of something I would want to work for and dream about and believe for. I really didn't have anything. I know that's so horrible to say. I literally had to Google bucket list lists to get some ideas. But I will tell you, once I had one, then I thought of maybe another, and then I couldn't stop myself. So I wrote all those things down, and I Googled images for them. And then I saved those images, and I went to Pick Collage, the free app, and I plugged them all into a collage, and boom, I have my digital version of my vision board. I'm so excited about it. It's my wallpaper and my background and my watch face, and I'm going to print it out into big pictures too. It's the background of everything. Every time I see it, I think of the things that I want to work for. And the last thing that I'm going to tell you is I did an exercise as well with my team this week that I want you to do. Once you've finalized that, you've made your decisions, you have your goals and your dreams that you have, I want you to take time this weekend and I want you to do something for me. I want you to write them down with your dominant hand. Okay? So it might be 5 or 6 things or 10, I don't know. Write them down with your dominant hand. It might be, a family vacation or staycation. It might be redecorating. It might be, I don't know what it might be for you. Write that thing down with your dominant hand. Nothing special, on a piece of paper. Now, I want you to change your writing utensil to your non-dominant hand. and I want you to try to write them again. It's not fun. It's super uncomfortable, and it looks really messy and really bad. And all of a sudden, you want to stop writing, right? I just want you to know that in 2021, WON, if you will go for it with gusto, for those things on your vision board, using your strengths, your God-given strengths, you will see them happen. If you try to tap into someone else's or be someone else or minimize your strengths, don't believe in them, don't even know what they are, it's going to be like going for your goals just as writing with your non-dominant hand. It's not going to happen. So here is to 2021. New amazing products coming out, decisions that you get to make, writing your story, leveraging your strengths towards those goals. Make it a beautiful day. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.